Good morning, dear friends. How are you all? Hope you're all fine. Welcome back to the social study class of ours and the chapter which we have started few days ago. The chapter name is Advent of Europeans to India. Whereas in the previous class we were discussing about the Third Carnatic War. And in the Third Carnatic War, initial stages of the Third Carnatic War, at one side we can find that Count de Lally as the commanding officer of French. At another side we can find Sir Eyre Coote. He is the commanding officer of the Britishers. So Count de Lally, he attacked on the Vandivash for defeating the Britishers, and he wanted to capture entire the Vandivash in his control. But unfortunately, Count de Lally forgot a thing, that he is quite weaker than the Sir Eyre Coote. Weaker in a sense, it is in the field of weapons. The weapons which the Britishers were having, the modern weapons or the high technical weapons, those weapons were certainly not at all there with the French people. So therefore, somehow else, this Count de Lally got a defeat by the hands of Sir Eyre Coote. And he was not at all able, or he was not at all success in capturing the Vandivash. Instead of this, the Bussy one was taken protections under the French people. So the Bussy was completely captured by the Sir Eyre Coote. He has surrendered the Bussy and he put him into the jail. At another side we can find Count de Lally. One was leading the French. He just escaped from that area and he settled down. He was hiding at a place called Pondicherry. So after some moment, when Sir Eyre Coote come to know that Count de Lally is hiding in Pondicherry, then Sir Eyre Coote has decided to attack on Pondicherry. He attacked on Pondicherry. He captured Pondicherry, and not only this, even he arrested and thrown into imprisonment to the Count de Lally. So finally, the agreement it held at a place called Paris. In that we can call it as a Paris Treaty in between of England and France, for releasing the Count de Lally and for releasing the place called Pondicherry. So Britishers, they left these two things also, they released these two things also, but with a certain condition. The condition is, the French people, they should be make all their boundaries within business boundaries within the Pondicherry itself. They should not come across that. And whereas the Count de Lally, he resent to the France. So since then we can understand the thing that the French people lost everything in India. The Britishers are the supreme powered one. So Britishers started to take control entire the India by defeating one or others, it may be there, or with the intention of a business winning the heart of the king, it may be there, or with the various purposes, it may be. By with their policy, what we can call divide and rule policy, with the help of that policy, it may be there. So with a certain reasons, the Britishers started to take control entire the India under their hands. So we need to concentrate finishing of these all the things after finishing the first Carnatic War, second Carnatic War and the third Carnatic War. So next we need to concentrate towards the British rule in India, how they started their rule in India. Then again, what about the Battle of Plassey, when it held, the Battle of Buxar, for what reason it held, and since when onwards their control as a supremacy or supreme power of India, when onwards it started. Those all the things we will see in the next class of ours. But before that, we need to concentrate towards the two great personalities during these wars. One Dupleix and another one is Robert Clive. How can we forget about them? So Dupleix is the supreme power among the French, and Robert Clive is the masterminded among the Britishers. So we have to concentrate, first we have to concentrate on towards these two personalities. First we will look towards the Robert Clive, what he is and when he has entered into India and what was the purpose of his, that all the things we'll see. Then afterwards Dupleix we'll see. Then later on we will move ahead towards the British rule in India. Okay, so Robert Clive, let us get some more information about the person. Robert Clive, who led the firm foundation in India, has joined East India Company as a clerk. Whereas in the previous class itself I told you, Robert Clive, he was not at all in the initial moment, he was not at all the commanding officer, he was not at all the governor general, nothing he was. He worked or he joined in East India Company as a clerk itself. And later on, when the period it start to move ahead, when the days were passing, the British East India come to know, or they understood the bravery of Robert Clive, they understood the intelligence of Robert Clive, and due to his hard work, efforts, intelligence and bravery, Robert Clive started to grieve in a higher positions. So after the Battle of Plassey, which was held in the year of 1757, the Battle of Plassey, it held in between of Britishers and Siraj-ud-Dowlah, the ruler of Bengal, just a 17-year-old boy, one who has raised the sword of his in against of Robert Clive. So that all the things we will concentrate in the Battle of Plassey when we will start to look towards that. So after the Battle of Plassey in the year of 1757, he gained a complete control over Bengal and in South India. So Battle of Plassey, it held in the year of 1757, and this battle it held in between of the Bengal's Nawab Siraj-ud-Dowlah and the British East India Company's ruler or the commanding officer Robert Clive. So we know very well Robert Clive, he is known for his intelligence, he is known for his planning. So here also during the Battle of 1757 or Battle of Plassey, the intelligence, we can witness the intelligence or the planning of Robert Clive in against of Siraj-ud-Dowlah. He took a help of Siraj-ud-Dowlah's own uncle to defeat the Siraj-ud-Dowlah. What was his plan and all that, all the things in detail we will look towards, we will concentrate in the Battle of Plassey. Okay, so now we have to see Robert Clive's achievements here. Robert Clive, he has defeated or he got to control or he has won the Battle of Plassey in the year of 1757. So with this winning, with this tremendous winning, Robert Clive has become one of the permanent member for the East India Company. I can say these things. Rather than these things, the entire the Bengal, it's fallen into the palm of Britishers. It has fallen in the control of Britishers. Not only the Bengal was there in the control of Britishers after defeating the Siraj-ud-Dowlah, even entire the South India, what we can call, except the Karnataka, the few places of it, the Carnatic regions like as the Tamil Nadu regions, it may be there. Then again you can concentrate it towards the Kerala and some regions it may be there, Andhra regions it may be there. So maximum southern part of the India, even Karnataka also you can consider it out. So maximum places of south part of India, it started to be completely in the fall of Britishers here, and Bengal was also completely fallen in the control of Britishers. It's only because of Robert Clive's planning. So Clive or Robert Clive amassed immense wealth in all these ventures and helped East India Company to earn more profit. So Clive returned to England with immense wealth and become a rich member of a parliament. See, Robert Clive, whenever he was attacking on certain places of India, suppose if he attacked on the Madras, so from Madras, after defeating the ruler of Madras, he used to loot a huge number of booty from there. Huge number of wealth he was looting, and that wealth he used to be hand over to the, I can say that more than 40-50%, more than 80% he used to be hand over to the British East India Company. Around 20% he used to keep it with him. That was his personal things. Okay. So in the wealth itself, a certain amount he used to keep for himself, and remaining he was handed over to the British East India Company. So through these things, one thing we can understand that when the Robert Clive was there in India, the British East India Company, it was too rich one. It has reached its high peak level, I can consider it out, because he was defeating, not only he was defeating, even in some time we can understand that he was winning the heart of the kings, and from them he was taking the places as in the form of a gift, and those places he used to hand over to the East India Company. So one side we can understand that when the Robert Clive was there in India, East India Company was completely the richest one. And not only these things, even after the Battle of Plassey in the year of 1757, Robert Clive will need to return back to the England, because England government thought that entire the India it is completely in the control of Britishers. South India it is in the control of theirs. Then again West India it is in the control of theirs. East India and North India, complete India it is there in the control of Britishers. Now there is no work of Robert Clive in India. Better to call him back. So they called him back to the England itself. When he was returning to England, it is been saying that we don't know how far it is truth. He has taken the huge number of wealth from India to the England as his own personal things we can call. So in an initial stage, a person one who has become one who started to work in a British East India Company as a clerk. For few years he served in India. When he was returning back to the England, he was one of the most richest person. And not only these things, he has become the permanent parliament member of a parliament in England. You can imagine the things that the progress of Robert Clive. Next things, after returning, when Robert Clive returned back to the England, so here British East India Company started to lose its wealth, it started to lose its political career, it started to lose its economical strength in India, because British East India Company was not having that much of a strong or the dominant ruler over India. So then they were just started to lose entire the things. What the earning was there when the Robert Clive was. So at present it means after moving back of the Robert Clive, the earning of a British East India Company it's become completely low graded one. Then again what the name and the reputations they were having or the respect they were having among the dynasties, that all the things they started to lose. So one side we can find that the dark age of the Britishers started in India after returning back of Robert Clive to England. Hope you are understanding. And not only these things, the Robert Clive in the year of 1757, he won the Battle of Plassey. He defeated the ruler Siraj-ud-Dowlah, and in place of Siraj-ud-Dowlah, he has appointed his own puppet. Kai Gombe, that word we have to use. His own puppet he has appointed. He is none other than Siraj-ud-Dowlah's uncle, Mir Jafar. So he has become the ruler, and Mir Jafar was completely in the control of Britishers. If the Robert Clive asked him to sit, he was sitting. If he was asking him to go, then he was going. So that was the nature of Mir Jafar. Hope you are understanding the scene. So then after certain years, when Robert Clive went back, when he has returned towards his place, so in India, various changes have taken place. In place of Mir Jafar's son-in-law Mir Qasim sat, and he started to rule over that. He was completely in against of the Britishers. Then one by one the rulers started to be raising their voice in against of the Britishers when the Clive was not there in India. So this situation it's becoming very common one. Then Britishers started to think that now if we are leaving it for some more years, then definitely the Indians may not be, or the Indian rulers may not be, let us to live in India. Better to resend to Robert Clive. So then the British East India Company, with a proper planning, they have resent to the Robert Clive in India. And the moment when Robert Clive has entered into India, he attacked on Buxar, he attacked on Mir Qasim, one who was the ruler of Bengal. After removing his father-in-law, when the Mir Qasim has become the new ruler of the Bengal, so this Mir Qasim was completely in against of the Britishers. So Robert Clive planned to first attack on the Mir Qasim. He attacked on Mir Qasim. He defeated him in the battle of Buxar. He defeated Mir Qasim in the battle of Buxar, and again once more he has appointed Mir Jafar only as the new ruler of Bengal. Not only he has defeated the Mir Qasim, he has won the battle called Buxar, battle of Buxar we can call. It is won by him itself. As in the initial moment when he was entered into India in the year of when during the first Carnatic War, when it has taken place in the year of 1742 and all, when Robert Clive entered into India, he attacked on the Arcot and he killed Chanda Sahib. In the same manner, second time when he entered into India, first he attacked on the Buxar, Bengal's place, and after defeating the Mir Qasim, he started to gain entire the supremacy over the Bengal, and once more he has bring back all the respect which the British East India Company lost. He brought back all the things, and he has given the economical status to the British East India Company. So after some years, Robert Clive, he returned back to India. He returned back to in England. He returned back to England, and for certain reasons, the Robert Clive has faced many controversies. The controversial, like as when the Robert Clive was there in India, the British government asking now, British East India Company, not the Queen Elizabeth, as I have told you in the initial class of ours. The British East India Company is different, and the British Queen is the different one. So Queen has given permission to the British East India Company for starting the business in India for 20 years or the 15 years, as according to the Charter Act. In the first class of ours we have discussed that. So in the same manner, what has happened here, when he has returned back, when Robert Clive was returned back to England, so then the Queen of England, she has put many cases in against of Robert Clive. The cases like as he has looted the wealth of a British East India Company, or he has looted the wealth of Indians. Then again, during the reign or during the period of Robert Clive, maximum loss it has held for the Britishers and even for the Indians. So such kind of the allegations were there in against of Robert Clive, and finally Robert Clive committed suicide. The brave man, one who was one entire the things, one who was controlling everything else, to whom so far I was praising like as anything. I used to tell him that the more intelligent person, more bravest and all. So this brave man in England, he just afraid of all the allegations. He couldn't bear those all the things, and he has committed suicide. So there we can find that it's a chapter end of Robert Clive. But again, we can find Robert Clive during the battle of Plassey and Buxar. Till then, just wait for a moment, for a few days. Okay. So after that, we will move towards the Dupleix, and as we know that how much brave and clever and intelligent was Robert Clive, as equivalent to the Robert Clive, even the Dupleix was also like that. We can remember the Dupleix entered in India in the year of 1742 during the first Carnatic War, and in the initial days we have witnessed the bravery and the intelligence of Robert Clive. So Robert Clive was somehow else, hook or crook, he just wanted to take Madras in his hand. So therefore he has given invitation to his friend Laudinus, one who was the military commander or the military leader of Mauritius. He came towards India, especially on Madras. He attacked, then he captured Madras. Whatever the plannings were there, it was going very according to the according to the Dupleix itself. And even in the first Carnatic War also, we can find that the Dupleix team got won in against of the Robert Clive's team, or they were the winners in against of the Britishers. They defeated Nasir Jung, they defeated Anwaruddin, and even they defeated the Britishers. So wherever the Dupleix planning, however it was there, it was completely working it out in the first Carnatic War. But whereas in the second Carnatic War, the Dupleix started to lose all his control over the French commanders, the French officers, the French military. Then again, Dupleix was not at all what you can call that, he was not at all ready to be cope up in against of the Robert Clive, because Robert Clive seems quite stronger than the Dupleix. So such all the things have taken place, and even the French government were also decided that better to call back Dupleix. Then they had called back to Dupleix in France, and he had been settled down there itself. So these are all the things we have discussed about the Duplexes also. There is no much information about the Dupleix as much as we have collected about the Robert Clive. So in tomorrow's class we are going to be notice about the British period or the British rule in India, how they have started and from which place they have started, what was their target, what is main role of Robert Clive in making the Britishers to be the strongest one in India. So many things are there, that all the things we'll see in the next class. Till then, please stay safe, and if you want to continue to listen this class, so please subscribe the video. If you are subscribing the video, our videos will come to you. In case if you are not, it won't. Okay, thank you.